We're looking into the second game. It's the draft for game 2 out of potentially 3 in the best of 3 of BeastSolis and Team Toasty. Now, we favored BeastSolis' draft last time. We were wrong. They are banning Kwong out again, though, as to start this one off.
Yeah, as I said in the last game, you got to ban this Kwong. He is just too powerful. He's really good in the jungle as well as the offlane. But the thing about him in the offlane is he has a lane that he can win. He can't win lane in the jungle. He's still a good jungler. I find him the opposite of Sevarog. I like Sevarog more in the jungle because he can't lose lane in the jungle. Kwong can't win lane in the jungle. So
that's true, right? Like Kwong has the potential to be a good jungler, but I find, and there's the Argus ban, so we're seeing very much a clone of what happened last time around. But I find with Kwong, you miss that tether, it's done. And it's actually quite hard to land that tether for most people.
Yeah. I thought I had a good win rate on Kwong, and then I checked my stats. I do not. And it's entirely because
I'm like, I like this.
It's entirely because I miss the tethers, but I'm doing so much damage. I'm surviving so long. I'll hit one of the 3 tethers I try in a fight. And I just think to myself, like, man, if I could hit these tethers, I'd be unstoppable. And to me, that's the sign of a really overpowered character, because I feel like I'm already doing so much. I might not be winning, but I feel like I'm already doing so much. And if I could hit that ability, I'd be unstoppable.
Speaking of one of those champions, Rampage is one of those champions for me. And we're seeing BeastSolis' team pick it away from Skype Hamster this time.
Yeah, I think they already want to make sure that they can pick apart the composition that was happening last time for Toasty. They don't want to give them the same composition. It really worked out for them. And if Toasty then gets a Decker, that Decker and that Rock combining, they had so much long range engage and disengage as well. And yeah, there's that Decker coming through.
Yeah.
Also, the thing about this Rampage is Viper now has ranged engage. Viper in the last game had to go in really close. And once he was in that cage that Decker put down, he was dead along with Spotted. Yeah, so this Rampage now able to jump out of the cage and able to stun from a distance. He's not putting his body on the line as much.
We are seeing Toasty going to pick the Decker because that was the real MVP. Pyrex did good, but Pyrex only did good because he had the Decker cage and the peel that Toasty was there. So we are seeing Toasty pick up his quintessential bread and butter and followed up by the reverse pick. It's going to be Chimera, who plays very well into Rampage.
Yeah, he's got a really good matchup. I wouldn't be able to tell you, it's an 80-20 or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the exact percentage that Chimera's going to beat him, but he's definitely got a good chance of beating him. And I also personally like Chimera into Belica. I know some people will disagree, but I think if you can time that cleanse right, you can avoid that knockup. Now Belica is just in a really awkward position.
It's going to be an interesting way because we are seeing the steal pick once again. That's going to be an offlane steal. But steal had some potential in the last game, but as it came out, the peel from Toasty's team just proved to be too much because Steal would have to invest far too many resources in order just to get into the fight, and then once he's there, he gets caught out and kind of twiddling his thumbs, waiting for something to happen. Honestly.
Yeah, I expect this steal to be played by BeastSolis. I think it's a pretty strong offlaner, and we saw what happened into the Decker when he was in the jungle. Junglers tend to be a little bit behind of laners. Same, obviously, supports a little bit behind of laners. So in the offlane, he could potentially have an advantage.
Again. Pyrex coming back for round 2, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's already looking scary. If this steal gets in the cage and he's not tanky enough, which I think if he's a support or he's a jungler, he's not going to be tanky enough, he's just going to melt. So I really want BeastSolis to be on this steal.
I think it's going to be a slight repeat of what happened last game. Like Pyrex on the Sparrow, he's not on, he's got a pair of boxing gloves or joysticks. They're gonna ban the Richter away from BeastSolis, so this creates even more appeal potential for Toasty's teams. Just one thing they don't have to worry about whatsoever.
It also could potentially mean the flex pick of this steal who can play in 3 roles. He will not be playing jungle, obviously, because they have a Rampage, but the potential of playing in the offlane or the support role because they took away that Richter. Maybe that changes the composition that BeastSolis was drafting. Maybe Steel is now the support. Maybe the Bellica is now the support. Banning the way this really powerful third flex pick that could potentially support, it might change how BeastSolis has to draft.
And we're going to see who the next ban is. It's going to be Greystone. I don't think that's the right ban. I don't think Greystone's offering what BeastSolis' team could use. They're very engage heavy right now, but I think they need to round their team out a little more. Greystone, very good tank option to do damage. Not a lot of CC to follow up, but I think there's better bans because Toasty's not looking for a Greystone right now.
I actually just think they're going to pick a Grux again. Oh, but they are definitely going to pick Gideon. This composition is looking very, very scary, at least based on what happened in the last game. Prior to last game, I would say this composition's not looking too scary. But after last game, I definitely am. Frozen,
Yeah.
Toasty, and Pyrex combined really well. Toasty's cages, Frozen's ultimates, Sparrow's ultimates, they were just unstoppable.
It was we weren't expecting it to come out. Like I know the puzzle pieces exist, but typically people have a harder time executing them. And this is a solo sign up tournament. So we're playing competitive, but we're playing competitive at a solo queue level. People tend to still play more for themselves in these events. It's just slightly more organized. In response, we are going to see the Zarus and the Murdoch for BeastSolis' team. So this is a different approach for BeastSolis. They're going to try something else. I think it'll be interesting, but it seems like Toasty's team's more going for what worked last time with a slight adjustment to counter the Rampage.
I don't know how I feel about this Zarus pick because I think that now confirms that Steel is in the support role. And I think Steel is going to struggle in that support role. I think he's going to struggle the moment that he gets into a cage. He's not going to be tanky enough. He's just going to shred. And they have the same problem that they did last time. Only the Rampage has something that can cancel out this Gideon ult.
And there's the Grux once again for Toasty's team. Just to follow up on Steel, I think what happens is Steel has to burn 2 abilities just to be able to get into the fight and not die immediately. He has to burn his dash to close that gap, and then he has to burn his shield wall just so he doesn't get poked out immediately from the Sparrow hitting him as he's trying to engage on something. That leaves the majority of his kit out before he's even able to get into an advantageous position in lane. Decker just needs to drop a stun. Decker just needs to drop the cage. Doesn't even have to be both.
And the Decker can do it from range. I will say the Steel Wall, very powerful into the Sparrow in the sense that he can drop it and just negate the entire inner fire ultimate that comes out of last Pyrex. So if it's used correctly, now the Sparrow is potentially dealing 0 damage, but doesn't do anything for the Gideon. The Gideon is able to deal so much damage despite the wall.
Yeah, and we're going to get straight into the game right now. We'll give you a quick rundown of the teams once again. It's Team BeastSolis on the blue team. He's going to be on the Zarus in the off lane. Low tier Viper, once again, the jungler, is going to be playing Rampage. Bellica in the mid lane. For Bad Yoshi 23, once again, Spotted Lost is the support on the Steel that we were just talking about. And then North, one of the top players in our community, great flex player, is the ADC.
And on the other side, we've got last Pyrex on the Sparrow, Toasty on the Decker, Crozen on the Gideon. Once again, he was my MVP of last game, or maybe it was Toasty. I literally couldn't decide. Skype Hamster now on the Kai, not the Rampage, and talk once again on Grux. The only difference in this composition is the Rampage was picked on the other side, so they didn't have access to that. But they have the Kai, who counters the Rampage. So I think this composition, I didn't have faith in it last time, but I have faith in it this time based on what happened last time.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I think I want to see Skype Hamster and Rux talk to invade early on, because Chimera gets so much of an advantage against Rampage early. He gets the health regen on his passive. He just wins these fights in the long run. And if Rampage tries to stun him with the rock to disengage the Chimera passive, he just cleanses it and moves on. And then Rux is such an early pressure character there's not much that Viper will be able to do if they decide to press up early. We are now seeing the game kick off properly, just going out. I'd like to see some early game wards that we didn't happen last time. Very neutral line for the most part, minus BeastSolis getting that blue ward off. But I really, really want to see this invade.
You do have to keep in mind, though, that they are invading into Azaris, who is one of the strongest level 1 characters in the game.
That is true.
I think he is insane from levels 1 through 3. And if he snowballs correctly, he can be insane for most of the game. But if he doesn't, I think he does fall off. And Grux is someone who I think once he hits level 6, it's a coin toss which one of them wins at level 6. And then whoever wins that coin toss at level 6 will continue to win, in my opinion.
Quick side shout out to Joey. It's yours truly, also known as Soul Reaper. They're both named Joey, but he is rating the party of 147. Thank you once again, Soul. You're tuning in to round 2 of the first best of 3 for the quarterfinals of the BFC tournament. We have Team BeastSolis versus Team Toasty. You missed a banger of a game last game, so hopefully we get another one, as we are now having the minion wave crash for the very, very first time into the match. And that is a nice... I think this will be an interesting, like, Grux versus Zaris, because whoever wins this level 1, 2, and 3, that's it. That's the whole game for them.
I agree with you that level 1 through and 3 are super important, but I do think that at level 6, if they both have 6... Grux can win a level 6 fight, but BeastSolis can also win this level 6 fight. He can certainly win the level 2 fight when he hits it first, dealing a lot of damage to Talk, just like he did last game when he played Crunch.
Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. Like, Zaris will probably have the advantage because he gets to heal up through those trades. He has the ability to take a quick short burst skirmish and then back up.
Oh, and with the dash down, he forces out the blink from Talk.
Okay, I think I might be... Yeah, I'm off. I'm going to move forward here. So there we go. We are now at 303, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
okay.
I am at... Oh, my bad. I was at like 215.
Yes. Okay. So we were off kilter, guys.
I was way off.
Yeah, we were off. We were way off here. So we are now at the time of 3 into the game. Thank you, YouTube and your stream, for allowing that. Wonderful.
Yeah, I needed to refresh.
Yeah. So we are now looking forward to Belica and Crozin just kind of duking it out. The rock comes out, and that's going to be a nice little hit as they poke each other out. Crozin has not a lot of mana, but there is the engage onto Toasty, is spotted applying that shield wall to try and protect North, and that's the kind of engage we were talking about in the draft right there. Spotted has to burn so much just to get forward, and they just need to, like, redirect their attention onto North, who had no health, who goes down. And I think that's going to be a lot of the dual lane.
Yeah, a big deal for Pyrex. He went super huge last time, and now he already has the first blood for his team. I said last game I was starting to get scared at 10 minutes. I'm starting to get scared at 4 minutes this game, because Pyrex could potentially do what he did last time, especially with Toasty playing as well as he is.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Solis and Rock kind of duke it out a little bit here. Chimera on this side of the lane, he does take that invade. He's looking to come up from behind, and Skypamps are now jumping onto BeastSolis. There's a knockup from the Grux. He still has the pull. He's trying to do what he can to peel back, gets the stun off for the Zaris, and it's going to be just enough for BeastSolis to live. He now has the minion advantage. Skypamps are coming back in for the regank. He's going to dash away. Skypamper jumps forward onto Beast, and it will not be enough to get the kill. Grux almost dying to minion damage. Yes, that was a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's minion damage, but it's also Zaris damage at this point in the game. Zaris does so much damage, especially with that right click. He is just going to be chunking Grux down constantly. He won the first trade that was a 2v1, and I think he traded pretty favorably in that second 2v1 as well.
Yeah, that's what they're... Crows are now trying to jump away. Low tier Viper there. They're going through the portal, but they managed to miss the jump that would allow them to follow through. They are going to just push the wave up. Low tier Viper now looking to get into the enemy jungle, as Grux and Chimera are on the enemy side of the map. He's going to focus the 2 camp. If he can get a hold of that 5 camp, before Chimera gets to the red side of the map. That's going to be a very, very big boon for that Rampage.
Even just invading this 2 camp is really, really important. The 2 camp offers so much XP. It's a really important camp to be invading.
And there it is. He managed to secure both small camps on the red side as Chimera now just walking through the fog wall of the red side of the map. He's going to get an eye on that last minion falling down. Low tier Viper now rotating towards. The team is aware that the Rampage is on side of that map. The sound bleeding through the wall, creating that opportunity for them to be able to back up. North and Lost securing that gold buff. Rampage on the side, seeing if he can get a rock out on to Pyrex, but he's just going to walk towards the 3 camp instead and get healthy. In the off lane, once again, they are duking it out. It's that is a very volatile lane right there, like, honestly.
Yeah, Zarus is definitely in the advantage for now, but Grux quickly approaching level 6. Things could change because Zarus obviously wants to get you low and then ult you and fight you in his cage. But once Grux has 6, he wants to fight you just as much as Zarus does.
You're not locked in here with me. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. And we're seeing that engage go through. Solis has the level advantage, like we said. However, he is going to just do what he can to apply as much damage, get that passive stacked up, and get the health regen onto the Zarus. Zarus still having the advantage on the longer fights because, as we see, once that passive wears down, he is going to heal up. In the mid lane, we do have the engage. Crows in, going to use the black hole. It won't be enough to do anything major, not able to secure a kill by any means. He is on the level advantage, or the XP advantage, for now, as Skypamps are now walking into the 2 camp of Rampage, with Rampage right there, Spotted Lost rotating in to see what they can do.
Chimera Knight might be picked up as 3 people rotate over, forced to use the little blast cone to get over the wall. He doesn't finish off the 2 camp, which actually might even impact the Rampage, because now when they go over to that 2 camp, there's just the little minion.
It does work in favor. However, that does take down Skype Hamster's kind of flow and where he wants to be. He's just having to walk, take all that time to go across the map. There is a shield wall coming down, not placing it in the right spot for North. He's going to have to take a little bit of poke damage from the misplaced shield wall, and they're going to walk forward in the off lane. Once again, it's another fight. The rock goes out. It's going to miss on the Grux and forcing the Grux to blink away. Chimera just off in the pocket. This is the lane that you want to win. We look at the dual lane, we look at the mid lane, but off lane is the lane to watch this game.
BeastSolis getting that blink without even using the ultimate is huge. Now, look at Talk's health. Talk is going to have to go back because with no one on his side of the map anymore, if BeastSolis walks up, he can just ult him, and he's definitely winning that fight.
Yeah. And we're seeing kind of a similar play out from last game where Beast has just the level advantage. He should have taken the back. Now he's just in the spot to die. Grux has no flash. Zarus does. Grux could have ultimate, but there is Zarus with the ultimate. He just needs to poke him out and just land that R and get that Coliseum stack off. And that's what we're seeing right now. Is Grux gonna be able to do it? No, he doesn't even get to react. He just dies immediately before Beast even hits the ground.
I was about to say it's kind of dangerous to tower dive a Grux. He's got a lot of CC, but I don't even get to complete the sentence, let alone complete the thought. He just dies instantly to the damage that comes out of Zarus. That's a stack already for BeastSolis.
Yeah, and low tier Viper trying to create a play, but he's not going to be able to land the rock. Pyrax rotating over to the gold buff. The junglers are on the same side of the map very, very frequently, as they are now going to see if they can get engaged for the gold buff. It was taken down, I believe. Pyrex able to secure it, and the team going to walk in. Skype Hamster now looking to see what he can do. He's walking in and out of the fog wall, so they know he's there, but he's not too sure if he wants to commit or not. Gold buff was not taken. They were able to push him off of it. Spotted Lost going to secure that, or going to push that and reset it to the enemy team, or to his team once again. There is a ward that he is on, and he's going to back there. So that does give Toasty's team a little bit of knowledge and information of what the next step should be.
I just want to point out how important it was that Spotted Lost backed off, sorry, not Spotted Lost, Last Pyrex backed off of that gold buff. To all my solo queue ADCs, it is not worth dying for a gold buff. Gold, it's not enough gold
It's
to
a
die
bait.
for.
I think it's a bait to begin with, honestly.
I've had my own ADCs get baited by the gold buff when Fangtooth is available and the rest of the team is on it. When the offlaner is rotating to the Fangtooth before my ADC, I'm having a conniption as a jungler.
And there's the engage as the ultimate comes out of the Grux. He's just trying to wail on the minion wave instead of engaging onto the Zarus. That was his opportunity to actually get some damage off into BeastSolis in the mid lane. We are looking at the engage on Spotted Lost. There's a big shield slam. Is it going to be enough? It does get North to secure the kill as Toasty goes to land two CCs onto the Murdoch, and they are going to get him. It is going to be the snipe through the wall. Crozen, last Pyrex going to kill North. Crozen dashing forward as Toasty is able to secure the kill onto the Rampage. There's a lot going on here. My brain's a little scrambled from last game, so I'm having a hard time just keeping up.
What looked like a pretty good opportunity for the side of BeastSolis to get this first Fangtooth after picking up the kill onto Skype Hamster on the Chimera in mid is immediately countered by the rotation from the duo lane. They deal so much damage. Crozen didn't even ult in that fight. I think it's even still available. Spotted Lost and the other player here are going to be in trouble potentially.
Decker with the double stun going to land on two Spotted Lost and Bad Yoshi as the ultimate comes across the map, but that's going to be a missed Murdoch ultimate as Skype Hamster and Chimera, as Chimera managed to secure the kill. It's going to be the orange team, Team Toasty, securing the first Fangtooth of the game. North and them are looking to see if they can pick something up as Skype Hamster and the rest of his team members are very low. Pyrex going for that gold buff, even though they managed to pick up a very, very big advantage through that Fangtooth. Seems to be the right play as it's not taken advantage of. They just need to back and get that lead, use that gold.
You know what I noticed in that engagement? Toasty landed a two-man stun in that little choke point, and then with the only mana he had left, Crozen lands the double rock, following up on that double stun, and chunks them down to like 1 health. He's already dealing insane damage, and that's only going to get bigger.
And they are looking to secure a kill onto Chimera, but Toasty once again, the VIP of this entire best of 3 as he adds the peel. That's a double ultimate or double engage onto the front line of BeastSolis as they now get completely dismantled. Spotted Lost just adding enough peel for Bad Yoshi to get away. Is it going to be enough for him to live as well as he uses the shield slam onto Pyrex? They're looking for the Sparrow, but they're not able to land those last few auto attacks. Crozen coming in, but he's able to land the rock, and Pyrex finally going down to BeastSolis.
He gets a stack too.
Coliseum. He gets the stack on the Zarus. Grux now the next one to go down. This is such a weird fight. Everyone's very aggressive this game, but there doesn't seem to be method to the madness. As North now being engaged by Skype Hamster, he's not going to do very much. I'm surprised he doesn't go forward. Like he's fairly healthy. He has, you know, the flash. He has the ultimate as well, as far as we see on the replay. North didn't have much. He could have pushed forward, but
I think he just didn't want to bait his ADC in that situation. Yeah, Zarus might want to take the fight, but the Chimera isn't upset about taking extended engagements either, right? He's going to be building up stacks, and then if North is baited in and gets a little bit too close with his built up stacks, he might just jump onto that carry and eat him alive. I think it was the right call to back off. They got a double kill onto BeastSolis. They got a stack onto BeastSolis. They were able to trade out the engagement a little bit after a bit of an overextension. I think it was the right call to finally end that fight by retreating.
That fight went on for like a whole minute too.
Yeah, it was right to stop at that point.
I don't even know. There's about to be a we talked about like not even to look at items last game. I think it's gonna be that again. We're just gonna be like just straight out calling the action for the next 15 minutes. It's going to be a wild ride. There's no other way. I can't see this slowing down.
No, I can't either, especially with the, I don't know, confidence that is coming out of Team Toasty. It seems like they are still snowballing from their comeback win last time. It seems like they're already like at that point where they had the confidence of being full build. It feels like they're there again, and it's only 15 minutes in.
I am seeing that confidence from both teams, right? Like they're like, I see egos being flexed in this game, whether or not someone's good or bad. North now trying to pacify away. He has to blink through the Decker cage once again, just as he got hit by the ultimate on the opposite side of the map. Going to low tier Viper and BeastSolis' team looking to secure that mini prime. They are on vision. Grux now going in, a spotted loss, trying to do whatever he can to peel the enemy team away from doing the damage they need to secure it. And they are able to pick up the Grux, and at the same time, it's going to be Rampage securing that mini prime. They're looking in mid lane. Crozin out of position here. I'm not too sure if this is going to work in their favor. In the farther side of the map, the tier 1 did go down for Pyrex. So if they play this correctly, that should be a collapse on the very overextended Toasty and very overextended Sparrow. And it seems to be that's what's going to happen here. Skype Hamster walking in to try and provide a little bit of peel. Low tier Viper now going to pop the ultimate, go in. He misses the rock as he jumps through the cage. Skype Hamster now in a bit of trouble. He has to burn the cleanse early, as well as the Iceborne Stalins, to get that slow and that speed buff Viper. And that is Viper once again as he gets hit, caught out. Crozin with the big ultimate, not going to land too much, but creating the space that he needs for Chimera to get the kill on the Rampage. That is there is the lane stun onto North. He goes down to the Sparrow once again. Bad Yoshi just trying to hop away, limping on that one leg. They had the advantage. They overextended, they got greedy, and that's going to be another Fangtooth setup as a cost.
I don't know how I feel about North picking up this pacifier. I think it's really good into this Gideon. He's able to dash, get a little bit of mobility to get out of the ultimate. But this Decker from Toasty has been on point, as we just saw, landing a stun from all the way across the map. I really think North needs a cleanse into this and a shield, frankly. Like, I think that would help him more than being able to get out of this this Gideon ult with a dash, especially with these ages that are coming out that are going to prevent the dash anyway.
I was just about to say that, right? Like, we are seeing North dash at the perfect time to the pacifier, but he's just dashing into a Decker wall anyways. There is Skype Hamster jumping in a low tier Viper who gets blown up by Pyrex immediately inside the Coliseum cage, and then he's going to push forward. He goes down, but he's creating the space and power that he needs as Crozin lands a massive rock onto BeastSolis and his teammate, who dies immediately. And there is the follow-up one to throw it out and get the combustion to do the last bit of damage he needs. North just trying to farm as fast as he can. He's 1-3 on 136 CS, but that is second Fangtooth for Team Toasty.
It is looking rough for BeastSolis. It's the same story as last time, but it's just happening a little bit faster. It's the difference between, like, I don't know, a movie that came out a while ago and the modern remake that just needs to speed up the story a little bit, get things going a little bit faster. It's the same thing. BeastSolis wins his lane. He's in a huge advantage, but Pyrex and Toasty and Crozin combine so well in the team fighting stage that it just doesn't matter that their offlaner is this far ahead.
We saw it, and we're really seeing Pyrex going in. He managed to dodge the shield slam off the steel, and that's going to be a big cooldown blown 4 spotted loss, and that's like a big engage that they need. Toasty now just running around the map, applying the pressure, landing the stun off. They're fighting over the river buff, and he's going to land the cage. There is Crozin, causing Yoshi to force his blink out. These cages are so on point for Toasty. I don't know why this wasn't banned. This is, we don't need the Kwong ban. You need this ban.
I'm sorry. It's because Kwong exists. It's because Kwong exists.
Yeah, well, Toasty exists.
That is true. That is definitely true. I do think that the Kwong in the hands of, say, Talk, or in the hands of Skype Hamster, wouldn't necessarily be doing much more than this Decker is doing for Toasty.
Like Toasty, and then we have another engage going in as the cage comes through. That's gonna follow up. There's so many walls. Crow's gonna drop the rock. It's gonna miss on everyone. We have low tier Viper burning the Razorback to dissuade the enemy team from engaging, but it's not gonna be enough as Pyrex picks up yet another kill on the stunned Zarus. And I was just going to say, I'm not like, Pyrex is doing good, but you could put me on ADC, and I feel like with Toasty in this game on Decker, you could put me on ADC, and we'd have a similar performance.
I think you could put a tutorial bot in ADC, and it would do the same thing.
Tutorial bot knows how to aim better than I do. We have another kill coming through. That's going to be 4 people down as Pyrex picks up yet another kill. The score is 7-17 in favor of Team Toasty, and Pyrex is positioning himself in the perfect place, putting him on the other side of the map. So when the wave crashes, he's already there, ready to take those extra 2 seconds to do the damage to the inhib that they're going to secure, and allows them to set up for Orb Prime immediately. North isn't even engaging. He's just trying to get whatever compensation he can, and that is gonna be the tier 1 on the other side of the map. He's gonna push the tier 2 to create a little bit of extra pressure, but none of it matters right now.
None of it matters at all. I do want to point out, we're not trying to say that Last Pyrex isn't playing well. Last Pyrex is playing fantastic, but Toasty has been unstoppable on this deck.
He's landed every stun. Like, look at this guy. And there's the Rift Walker coming through.
Bye, Skype.
Oh, Skype Hamster's in trouble as the team's finally able to get a pick on the jungler. Shield Slam goes through, and he's not going to be able to act as BeastSolis is going to shove that spear through that jungler's chest. This is the counter play they need, and they're going to run straight onto the Orb Prime. Massive misplay coming out of Team Toasty as they're able to go in. There's the big black hole. Is not going to be enough. He gets put back in as he jumps into Gideon's portal, but now it's Gideon caught out as he's stuck between the enemy team and the Orb Prime, just lasering him in the back of the head. North able to pick up a kill onto the Grux. Bad Yoshi able to get the kill onto the Gideon, and this is turning the turn around again. Oh, how the turns have tabled as Orb Prime is going to kill low tier Viper, and they're going to turn this around once again. All his just, oh my, I'm almost speechless at this point. Oh, Pyrex getting a kill once again.
I was gonna say, I did like the early initiation from the Gideon. I really thought that he needed to wait until the other team had, had some damage dealt to them from the Orb Prime before he went in with a big team fight with his Zarus, with his Decker Cage. I was really looking for a more coordinated attack there, but it really didn't matter because, I mean, the Rampage died to Orb Prime, but also Pyrex just dealt so much damage.
After all that, Skype Hamster, who misplayed, gets caught out off the blast cone and was the reason why that fight happened, is the one to secure the Prime.
I actually don't even think Skype Hamster really misplayed. I think he got picked, but I didn't think that it was very easy for BeastSolis' team to take that Orb Prime, and that's exactly what it proved to be the case, as Last Pyrex and Toasty in essentially a 2v5 take down all 5 of them and give Skype Hamster enough time to respawn and get the Orb Prime, and now get Fangtooth 3 for his team.
Oh, well, Fangtooth 1, but it's gonna be the 3rd Fangtooth of the map. No, yeah, there we go.
Oh, Fangtooth 3.
Oh, Fangtooth 3. Okay, I'm like, the last fight, we're going to the end dead or alive at this point because, like, the last fight, the power dynamic just kept spinning, and my head's been spinning right around like a record because, my lord, I don't know what's going on here. This is wild.
What's going on is about to be an insane push on all 3 lanes, or maybe not even needed in mid, on 2 lanes on either side. I'm assuming a 1-4 split. They're going to take down the tier 1 that's still up for BeastSolis. They're going to take down that tier 2. They're going to take down the tier 2 on the other side, and then they're probably going to try and group up as 5 and take down at least one of the last 2 inhibs and break open this game to essentially, I don't want to say be over, but this is the final defense for BeastSolis' team.
It's the last shot, and the way we've seen the game play out, it's probably not actually the last shot, but on paper, we ran out of paper 10 minutes ago, but on paper, Skype Hamster and the rest of his team, Toasty's team, should be able to get that. He is going to drop down the Iceborne Talons to apply that extra damage onto that tower for both the minions and his team, as BeastSolis is just going straight onto Pyrex with the Colosseum. The Decker Cage goes out inside of it. His team's going to follow it. It might be a little too late, but North secures the kill onto the Sparrow. Low tier Viper finally burning that Razorback to dissuade the team from doing damage, but it won't be enough. That's going to be 2 down for Skype Hamster. and his team, who's going to secure that 3rd kill, 4th kill. This should be it. This should be the end of the game. That was a 4v5. The camera panned to the Grux on the other side of the map, who just took the tier 2. That was a 4v5.
Yeah, they did manage to kill Pyrex, but what did it cost you? It cost you everything. North now alone into the entire enemy team. His core looking even worse for wear than he is as they focus it down. I mean, Toasty's actually focusing down North, not even letting him step out of his base as the game ends very quickly after that decisive team fight on the offlane side of the map.